Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome to the Hildebrand Law Firm topic for today.
I'm Kirsten Hildebrand,
And I'm Matt Kaplan,
and today we are going to talk about the fourth myth regarding your estate planning.
which is I'll be dead. What do I care what happens?
Oh, I'll be dead. Why would I care? Well, should we care?
Yes.
Now, what do you think about that, Matt?
I hate that
Hmm.
because it's amazing that when it comes to leaving a legacy, when it comes to being remembered, people want to be remembered, especially if you leave any art. If that's the case, don't take any photos your entire life. If you don't, if you say I'll be dead, I don't care, don't take any photos. Don't do anything. Don't put anything on the internet. Then, okay, then everyone will forget about you. Tremendous. But how come with estate planning, I'll be dead, I don't care? How come your legacy ends when it comes to that? It shouldn't. Your legacy will continue, whether good or bad. People always remember when they were wronged by a loved one for the lack of estate planning or bad estate planning. But people also always remember mom had everything set up. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm focusing on the good memories of mom, not the bad memories of mom because she didn't have things set up.
I once heard that when somebody passes away that you love, your relationship with them does not end, it just changes.
Sure.
And I think that one of the most important parts of your relationship that you will continue to have after you pass away is, what did you leave behind? Was it a mess or was it in order? Were there instructions or were there not instructions? So I think that question, when people flip it out, they usually say it as a joke, and hopefully they don't mean it, because it really isn't true. I think most people in their heart of hearts do care about what happens after they pass away, because it can be really a wonderful experience and continue the relationship in a positive way, like you had just said. So grateful that dad had everything in order. Now I feel like I can follow those provisions and then move on. Or people come in and say it was a disaster, it was a mess, it was unfortunately a reflection of the way they ran their life, and now I have to deal with it, and that can be very painful, for people who then can't move on until all of that mess is cleaned up.
Exactly. And people don't forget, the good and the bad things that you did for them after you pass away. When my one of my grandmothers passed away, she left money for my wife and I for our wedding. And I remember we used that for our honeymoon, and
Hmm.
that was 4 years ago.
I remember when my grandma passed away, we got $8,000, and that ended up being the down payment on our very first house.
And you'll never forget
And
that.
I'll never forget that, because it then turned into, we renovated it and then we sold it, and then we bought another house and we renovated that and sold it, and another one and another one. And so soon enough, grandma's gift, it's in every single one of our homes
Yeah.
that we have been part of, maintaining and developing, and then leaving it to the next people that come after us. And I think that that's the point, is that you're always leaving something behind,
Hmm.
and really taking care to make sure that that's something that's very beautiful and good. I think is important, because it's important to society, it's important to the people that have cared and helped you along the way.
Right. And have you seen the movie Coco?
No.
Oh my gosh, phenomenal. So Coco, it's a movie about how the idea that you have two deaths. The one when you pass away from this world into the other world, and then the second death is when you die again when people stop remembering you.
Ooh,
And so
interesting.
and so if you go off of the that belief that you die twice, then you're saying I don't care, I'll be dead. That's just after your first death. Do you want people to forget about you?
Mm,
Do you want
mm,
to
mm-hmm.
die for the second time and have people forget about you? Or do you want people to not forget about you? Do you want people to remember you for who you were, and so that you can continue touching people's lives after you pass away?
Well, and I can tell you one way that they'll remember you, and that is if the estate plan that you put in place results in litigation,
Oh, yes.
because we are inundated with litigation here, probate and trust litigation, with people who did not do estate planning well, or they didn't do it at all. Questions arise, issues come up, fighting ensues, and nobody forgets about you at that point in time. So that's one way to go out with a bang.
Oh, yeah.
Another way is to have them remember you in a really beautiful way and
Right.
continue that legacy. And I think that's really the better way to go. So I think that caring is important. I think that's what we're trying to say, is that it is important to care. Now, what if you don't have kids? What if you don't really particularly know how you would designate your estate? Even more so, it is important for you to care, because you have a tremendous opportunity. Let's say you've been single your whole life and you have an estate of anywhere from $200,000 on up. Do you realize what an incredible gift that could be to a charity of your choice, or a church, or a synagogue, or a group that you believe in and that you want to try to help? I mean, that is a tremendous opportunity to make sure that people will receive something that then will be used for good and for building up society, instead of just passing away and then there's a scramble at the courthouse to try to figure out who the beneficiaries are.
Yeah, I have one client. She inherited a lot of money from her parents, and she will most likely pass away with probably over $4 or $5 million. She has no children. She's leaving it all to Humane Society.
But what if she hadn't come in?
Right,
What if she had decided, you know what, I'll be dead, I don't care?
right.
Then what a tremendous opportunity has been lost for her to be able to have the comfort in her lifetime of knowing that it's going to benefit the Humane Society.
And imagine how many families she will eventually touch with a
Right.
donation like that. $5 million to the Humane Society. She can help hundreds, if not thousands,
Yeah.
of families find a pet and create their own legacy.
It's a
So
beautiful
it
thing.
is. It's really
Well,
nice.
thank you so much for joining us as we have finished off the 4 myths about estate planning. Hopefully, you've been convinced that it is a very important process to go through, and we would love to join you in that process. So, we are here to help you along the way. Thanks so much for joining us.